What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, that's right, we broke the Jeep again. And I actually had somebody mention to me that they think I was breaking it on purpose. They're like, you gotta stop breaking it. Well, to be honest with you guys, no, I'm not breaking it on purpose. I'm actually getting to the point where I might just stop fixing it. And if you know me, I clean this thing every single time I take it off-road. I have not given this thing one wash this whole summer because I'm just so fed up with all the repairs. And I told myself, if I can take it out at least once or twice and it doesn't break, I'll clean it. But it just keeps breaking. So here we are. So today we've got a few things ahead of us. Since I changed the entire radiator, the cooling system, the water pump, the thermostat, all the hoses, I changed the idler and the tensioner, I had a little bit of a squeak. And I think it's because the pulley that I put on is a little bit more polished than the one that I changed it for. So I have the other one, so I'm gonna put the other pulley on. Hopefully that takes care of the squeak. The body flexed into the radiator again, took out the radiator, so the radiator's gone. And I also have a, the body mount, yeah. So I need to do the body mount. So I need to do the body mount, the radiator, and that pulley. The body mount, ever since I got my new engine in, has just not wanted to cooperate. I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but to be honest with you guys, it's only happened since then. So yeah, let's go and let's put it together. Hopefully we can actually just retap it and drill it and just throw a new bolt in there and get it done. But to be honest with you, I think we're gonna have to probably just kind of jimmy rig it somehow, just to get it to work for now, because I don't have the original spacer. I lost that. I don't have the original bolt and the threads are gone. So I'm gonna drill it, tap it. Hopefully I can just put in a different spacer and get it done. But yeah, right now the entire front end is kind of just moving freely, and that is what is breaking the radiator. So I've already gone through 2 radiators in the past 3 weeks. And I don't plan on putting in another one because this is the 6th radiator I've done in owning this thing in 4 years. 6th or 7th, yeah. Don't feel like doing another one after this. You get pretty good at this after you do it a few times. I got that radiator out in like 15 minutes flat. This is our new piece right here. She's looking pretty good. I got it off Rock Auto, not sponsored, but best price that I've found so far out of all of the ones that I've bought, other than the one that Darnell donated to me. Shout out Darnell. And here is the one I took out. You can see she definitely took a beating. This was the part that actually destroyed it. Funny enough, it wasn't leaking from any of that. Like, that was holding all of it, and that is what did me in. So yeah, time to actually repair it properly. And it looks like, because if you didn't watch the last video, we got a little bit of egg in here. Now I don't think it got in like as far up into the water pump because that big hole. So as soon as I was filling it, it could have gone over and through the top, and that's where it went in here. But I don't think it would have filled up enough up the radiator to go into the water pump. I will take that hose off and check. And we didn't exactly get the thermostat open, so I don't think it got past the thermostat. So I'm gonna take this off, take a look at that. And I already got my fan off. Just gotta actually unthread the last little bit here. There we go. So the fan, I'm basically gonna replace, because you can see this one here took a beating, this one here got a little bit bent, but this one I had to bend back myself, and yeah, she's not in the best shape. So we've got another fan there. To be honest, that clutch feels good, that clutch feels good. Might just throw it on just like that, but since I know this clutch is new, I think I'm gonna just swap the fans and I'll keep that as a spare clutch. All right, moment of truth. I got it open. Well, I unbolted it, I should say. And okay, we've got an omelet. Sick. Yeah, it got in.
days you put it there?
A dozen. I had a big hole, right?
Oh man.
It's all right. I'll figure this one out. I'm gonna spray it out and we'll get it out. I'm just thinking if I gotta open this damn water pump now too, probably. Most likely.
Most likely.
Yay.
Dang.
So yeah, there's definitely eggs in everything.
Egg.
Including like, yeah. But don't worry, I have a plan. Yeah, I've got a plan. Just give me 1 second. All right, 1 second for you guys, about 5 hours for me. Not because it took me that long to set this up, but I had other things going on. So we're back. I got my water pump. Got 10 liters of water, or about, I think, 3.5, 4 gallons. And we've got our battery to run our water pump. So now, this is basically what I'm gonna use to give myself a flush and basically clean out all the crap, all the gunk that's in there and in there. Now, I will do my best to get it with this hose. It's not the best pressure, it's not the worst. And yeah, let's see what happens. Oh, it's definitely coming out. Yeah, it's flushing it all out. Good thing egg floats. All right, honestly, better than I thought. I'm gonna finish this off and we'll see the results in a second. So I finished this jug of water. She is pretty much empty. And there is breakfast. Funny enough, there was a bag of pepper in there and 12 eggs. So she's actually seasoned. Jeep omelet, anybody? No, but honestly, it smells horrible. And it smelled even worse going in. But she's not too bad. You can see a lot of the gunk is gone. There's still some in there. Definitely there's still something in there, which we're gonna go and clean out a bit more. We're gonna get ourselves some brake cleaner and a couple other things to try to attack that. This side is a lot better. There's probably, I'd say, 90% of it gone. Up here, I'd say there's maybe, I don't know, 50% of it left. So we're gonna go replenish my water and attack it again. If you guys are wondering why there's a dozen eggs in here and what the hell's going on and why I'm such an idiot, let me kind of explain. So okay, let's go back all the way. I replaced the engine. After replacing the engine, the body mount wasn't put in properly. I did not replace the engine. This was done by somebody else. The body mount right here was not put back properly because the first time I took it off-road, it fell out. And the the fan, when the body flexed itself, the fan went into the radiator, popped my radiator, and I was kind of stuck. It was leaking. I ended up taking it to the gas station, limping it there. I was gonna call a tow truck, and the lady at the gas station told me, hey, why don't you try putting an egg in? My husband used to do it, it got him home. Wouldn't you know it, we tried it, it got me home. I have a whole video on that. If you don't believe me, go back like a couple videos and you'll see it's there. But honestly, it worked and I didn't believe it. So then this time, I tried to fix the body mount. I wasn't aware that it was as bad as it was because I tightened it down. Everything was tight, like everything went in as it should. But then it honestly fell out like 10 minutes into the next trail. So I figured, yeah, the threads are gone, something's screwed up, so I'm gonna retap it, and I'm gonna actually put a larger bolt in there just to have it a little bit stronger and just to retap it to a larger size, and it's just gonna be a little bit better, I think. But regardless, so when this time it happened, I figured, hey, I've got a hole in the radiator. A lot of people on my last video when I put the egg in commented, why don't I throw in pepper? So I threw in a bag of pepper, and yeah, we did the bag of pepper. I actually don't think there's any pepper left. Yeah, I don't think it got into the overflow, but yeah, there was pepper in there first, and then there was the eggs. So after we did all of that, it was still leaking, obviously. So now here we are, replacing the radiator and cleaning out the eggs. I didn't think it would work the second time, but I said, hey, I didn't think it would work the first time. So here we are. So let's go get some more water. Let's try to clean this off as good as we can, and then I can throw on some silicone, put my water pump and my thermostat back. I cleaned off the water pump. Everything is fresh. I cleaned all the crap from inside of there as well. Both of these, so they should both be good to go. Now let's go, let's get more water and let's hit it. Oh, I also replaced my fan, so now we have an extra fan clutch, and here is the new fan, or the used fan that is no longer bent, that we're going to be putting back. Okay, I just ran 60 liters, so 6 of those jugs through there, and I think it's looking a lot better. Most of the eggs is gone, or the eggs are gone. I can't even speak after standing here for 2 hours. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying. I got egg on the lens. All right, so yeah, after about 2 hours, now I'm gonna drain it, and I think I'm gonna run one more bottle through it. But I wanted to show you guys my quick method to drain it, because every single time I do this, I add silicone, and you need it perfectly dry to be able to do the silicone. So this is how I'm gonna be draining it today. First thing I do, disconnect my hose so that I have just an outlet. Basically, the pump is just sucking in and exiting right out the pump. And then I stick my hose inside the actual water jacket, and then we flip the switch and it expels all the water. Pretty nifty, works pretty well, and it gives me a nice dry area to work with no little drips coming out every now and again to kind of mess up my silicone. So I'm going to drain it, then I'm going to run one more bottle through it just to make sure, and then I think we'll be all right. You can see the water's coming out pretty damn clear right now. Oh, there's a piece. So we still get a chunk every now and then, which is why I did want to keep going. But honestly, after doing this for 2 hours, I don't think we'll ever get it all out. I just want to get enough of it out that it's not going to clog my radiator for the next month or two that it's going to be in there. No, honestly, I hope it lasts me a lot longer than that, but my track record, I don't know. But yeah. So up here, that stuff is like baked on there, on the valves, or whatever that is in there that I can see, but yeah, it's not coming out. Like, I sprayed the hell out of that, and like, it's not really, like, none of it's really budging. But that also tells me that it's most likely not going to be clogging the radiator. It's probably going to stay put. So I think we're okay. Like, you can see how clean the water is coming out right now. Like, there's not really much left in there. And we'll get all the rust out now. And I think we'll be good to dry everything off, silicone it, and put everything back, because it's almost midnight. And I'm gonna have to wait 24 hours for the silicone to dry, meaning I'm probably gonna have to wait almost 2 days, because who's gonna come back here tomorrow at midnight? Probably not me. And I think she's just about dry. That should be about the last bit there. It's nice having a little vacuum. Wet vac at that. And I think that's pretty much it. Sweet. Now, honestly, the last time I did that, I had to sit here with a roll of shop towels and just keep wiping and wiping and wiping, and yeah, let's just say this is a lot easier and a lot quicker. And if you guys are wondering why all the bolts are in, it's because I had to leave for a bit and I didn't want to misplace them, so I put them all back in where they're supposed to go, just to kind of help me remember and keep them in their place. So now we're going to take everything out, throw some silicone, and put it all back. So here's those two pulleys, and you can see one is like polished, and I think that's the one that's been giving me my squeaking. This one almost looks like it's got like melted rubber on it, and I started to try to peel it off, and then I kind of told myself, what's the point? It's kind of giving me more grip. So yeah, we're gonna leave this one on with the melted rubber and send it. And this one, I guess it'll be a spare, because I can always paint it and refinish it, but yeah, don't need her for now. And it has now been almost 2 days. Everything is hard and sealed. None of the silicone is actually soft. So I think we're good. I even filled the thermostat housing with water just to make sure. And she is going down very slowly because there is a bypass, but she's not coming out anywhere around the seals. So just to double check, everything should be good. Now, I did also put the pulley back on, and I do have to go and retap that hole. So let's see exactly what we're dealing with over here, and hopefully we can get something figured out. So I'm not gonna lie, I got it done, but it took some serious screwing around. So my first course of action was gonna be to actually just cut it through from the top and tap it and get myself a larger bolt. So I have 3 grade 8 1/2-inch bolts. I've got the nuts for them, and what I was gonna do is just make these the new body mount bolt, because the one that's in there right now is an M10, so it's something like this. So you can see there's a bit of a difference there between those 2 bolts. There's definitely some more girth and some more strength. These ones I also don't know. Well, actually, there is a, so it's an 8, it's a 9.8 or 8, I think it's a 9.8. So still, that's not the strongest that you can get. You can get 10.9s, and I think you can even get 12 point something. Can't remember the exact spec, but regardless, I wasn't able to get these in there because I wasn't able to actually get the tap to fit. Like, unless I take the entire grill off, which I honestly, I just don't feel like going through it, which I probably should. What I ended up doing is Swiss cheesing a couple holes in here, and the reason I didn't just cut one big hole is because I couldn't go deep enough, because there is a nut in there, like a welded in nut. So if I went too deep, I would have actually got that nut out of there, so you don't want that. So what I did was I cut a couple extra holes so I could get my pliers in there and get a nice hold on the nut. So that is a nut that I put on. I have the bolt going through a polyurethane spacer with a grade 8 washer on both sides. This will keep it from actually sinking into this mount over here, and this will just keep that bolt from kind of recessing itself back into that rubber. So it's metal on metal and then metal again over here. So there's no soft spot except for the polyurethane in the middle, which is also sandwiched by metal. So I don't think the bolt is gonna go anywhere, and I don't think the nut's gonna go anywhere. The reason I wanted to keep the welded in nut in there is for strength, so that I didn't have to deal with having this nut being the only thing between this thin metal and the mount. So now I have 2 nuts. The old one doesn't really do anything, but it's welded in. This one is gonna sandwich the 2, and then hopefully we're gonna have a mount that doesn't move. So let me tighten this up and see if we have the right clearance to get the radiator back in. These angled pliers definitely help. And actually, I don't know if you guys can see them on the camera, but yeah, so you've got almost like a 45-degree angle there. Makes it nice and easy to get my hand in and tighten it down.
Alrighty,
I think we're there. Oh, Jesus. She's getting tight. Now she is solid. And what I did for myself is I left this one panel a little bit loose. Just it's clipped in on 3 instead of all 6. And if you give it a little pull, I've got a little access panel so that if I need to, I could throw a wrench in there, go underneath and tighten it up. I don't believe I'm gonna need to, but it's nice to have a plan B just in case something happens, because we're going back to the off-road park tomorrow, and you know it's gonna be a scent fest. If you watched the last video, it's gonna be a crazy time tomorrow. Okay, I got my bottom bolts in. Got the rod. Now from here, if everything goes smoothly, then we're laughing. Okay, she's seated on the bottom bolts. Get the hose clamp to the bottom hose, and then I'll bolt her up. Lower hose secured. Now we'll just bolt her up, and I think we're gonna be good to go, because so far everything looks like it's kind of lining up. Let me put the bolts in loosely and I'll throw the fan on just to see. Well, moment of truth. Is this gonna fit? Oh, hell yeah. It's looking good. Yeah, that's exactly the clearance we need. All the way through, we've got about 1.5 to 2 inches, and if the body doesn't flex, then we should be okay. The overflow has nowhere to mount on this radiator. Nice. Nice. So the overflow is going to get jammed in there, kind of like so. So she did not want to go, because there's nowhere to attach it here. Usually there would be, but not a big deal. I will be able to secure it in its position over here, and that's where it's gonna be. Now it's nice and far from its friend, the pulley, that was rubbing the crap out of it. You can see she definitely, we were riding on thin ice, because, yeah, there's not much left there. Now time to get the fan back on. And for anybody wondering, you do just thread it on. However, you got to hold that pulley. And what I have here is a line wrench, or a, not a line wrench, sorry. This is a strap wrench. So what this does is it has a rubber strap. You put it around whatever you want to hold, pretty much any circular object, and you can hold it in place. So once you get it threaded on, you're going to want to tighten that nut down while holding the pulley. Something kind of like this. And she should be good. Now we can put our belt back on. But yeah, she spins pretty freely. So I keep saying, oh, I've done this a million times, but my stupid ass forgot that the overflow mounts to the fan shroud. And as I'm putting it in, I'm going, what the hell was I thinking? But yeah, so now we've got everything in, including the overflow, and there is still room between the overflow and his friend the pulley that have been kind of getting a little bit too close together. But other than that, everything is tight. Time to fill her up and bleed the system of air, and I think we'll be good to go. Finally. Oh, I just have to route my breather actually for my axle, which usually runs something like this. I think I'm gonna just take that bolt out and put her in there. That's what I did last time. Worked pretty good for me last time. So I think I'm gonna put it in the same place. Beauty. Well, she's alive. Now I'm gonna just basically let it run, wait for my thermostat to open. Once the thermostat opens and it's at temperature, I'll make sure there's no air bubbles left, and we should be good to go for a test drive. Okay, the thermostat just opened. So far, it looks like there is good flow. Now I guess I'll just wait if any other bubbles come out, and we'll go for a quick test drive. But I'm hopeful that everything should be good. Well, she at least made it to the first light, and the squeaking is so far gone. So let's go for a little bit of a cruise. I think I'm gonna take it to the hardware store. Oh yeah, she's sounding healthy. I think we're gonna go for a cruise to the hardware store just so that I can go and get some more diff oil. That way I can replace the oil in the diff because it was leaking a little bit from the front, as always. It feels like I've made this video a couple times before, but yeah, let's go for a cruise. If she doesn't overheat on the way there, then maybe she'll get some fuel on the way back. Because I don't want to be putting fuel in this thing for it to sit down in the garage while I'm repairing it. But if we're going out tomorrow, then I should get ready, and yeah. So let's keep going, let's test it out, let's cruise, and let's see. But she's sounding pretty good today. Not bad at all. Oh yeah. I think we're gonna have a good time tomorrow. Well, she made it. She made it to the car wash and to the hardware store. I ended up getting some more oil for the diff. And I actually ended up getting some air fresheners because she smells like mud and dirt and all kinds of good stuff. But yeah, let's fill her up with gas, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll have a good day. But you can see, if driven carefully, please report stolen. I think it fits the description. Oh yeah, that's right. I got towed home last time. That's why we don't need as much fuel. Well, $20 in fuel, I'll take it. Sweet. We got fuel, and we didn't actually have to pay too much for fuel today. The guy inside asked me if I wanted a car wash, and I look at him and I go, "Are you sure you want me to take it through the car wash?" And we both just started laughing. Then I go outside and another guy's just staring at me, and he's looking at me kind of concerned. I start laughing. When I look at him, he starts laughing, and I just go, "Yeah, it's a little dirty, eh?" But he had no words. He's just looking at me like, nah. People around here in the city aren't used to this kind of stuff, so when they see it, they kind of look at you like you're kind of crazy, and maybe I am just a little bit, you know, just a tad, because I keep repairing this thing and I keep bringing it back to life, and we keep going out and we keep breaking it. So I guess I am crazy, because the definition of insanity is repeating the same process and expecting a different result. And I keep repeating this process, and I'm hoping I don't break anything, but shit just keeps breaking. Yeah, it's not that funny once you're paying for all the repairs. But so far, the last few repairs I've managed to cobble together pretty cheap, and so far she's running good. And I think today she's actually, the engine is feeling healthy, nothing is squeaking, everything sounds great. It's solid now because the front end isn't all loose and wobbly. So honestly, this is probably the best that it's been in a long time. So I can't wait to hit the trails tomorrow because I got less to worry about and more sends to do. So let's go. And time for one final drain. And fill it. And Jesus, that thing was nasty today. It's a good thing we changed it because that thing was a milkshake. Jeez. And this is a little bit slow, but it is a lot easier than holding the bottle. I'll tell you that much. And some of you are probably wondering, why did I just do that? Well, after the fender was tweaked on that side, kind of shifted everything, and after the body mount was messed up, it also shifted everything. And the spacer that I used for the body now is not the original one because I lost that one. So we're kind of making do with what we have, and the nose is not sitting exactly where it should be. Even though it is rock solid now, she's not moving, she is sitting a little bit too low. However, there was a gap in here of like maybe 2 fingers, and now there is not. And I did this for several reasons. One, so that when I'm driving on the highway, I don't have wind just pulling on my hood and straining my latches and breaking my latches. So I'm not gonna have the issue of the hood lifting on me, and I'm not gonna have any water getting in there because it's pretty good and sealed. What I did was I put a piece of weather stripping on the top, along here, along the sides. This wraps all the way down the headlight to the side here, and where I had the biggest gap from about there, I've got another piece here. And this is just some regular weather stripping I got off of Amazon, and honestly, it works great. I've been using this stuff on the back to seal up my tailgate, and it's been doing a great job there. I had a bit left, and I figured since I have that gap here now, let's just seal it up. The eventual goal for this thing is to turn it into a buggy and some sort of just an off-road tube frame type of Frankenstein kind of thing. So I'm not too worried about how she looks right now. She's a little crumply and everything is kind of misaligned. It's not where it should be. You can see my intake tube is kind of getting crushed. Usually it would fit under there with a little bit of room still, but so that's not sitting where it should be because this isn't sitting where it should be. This has to come up a bit, but until I get myself a longer bolt, this is what we're dealing with. I will get myself a longer bolt and another spacer, and I'll end up kind of just moving everything to where it should. But for now, we're rock solid. Like we're not shifting anywhere, so I think we're good to go. So with that being the last thing that I wanted to add, I am feeling pretty confident about hitting the off-road park tomorrow. And yes, tomorrow we are heading back to Washego Breakover Angle Park. It is a brand new park. This is the first season that it has been opened, and it is probably one of the closer places for me where I live to get to. So usually I have to drive anywhere from 2.5 to 4 hours to get to the trail each way. And tomorrow I'm only gonna have to drive about 1.5 hours to 2 hours depending on the traffic situation, so not too bad at all. Now all we really have to do here is go get some sleep and get ready, because the Jeep, she's good, the video, she's done, and me, I'm tired. So it's been a long day. Honestly, if I didn't have to wait for the silicone to dry, I probably could have finished this all in about, I'd say about 4 or 5 hours in an afternoon. The body mount took me the longest because I was playing with it, trying to retap it and do all kinds of stuff, and it just wasn't taking. So yeah, at the end of the day, we're done now. She's fixed, and I think the Jeep is in a better state than it has been in a long time. So we're definitely gonna have a good time tomorrow. Now, if you guys are new around here, please jump down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We're trying to get to 10,000 by the end of this summer. We'll see if it happens. Hopefully with your help we can get there. So please like, share, and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then guys, ride safe out there. Oh, and I almost forgot, my wheels and tires are on the way. I ordered some new rims and some new tires for the Gladiator, and they will be here soon. So stay tuned for that. But until then guys, ride safe out there. Peace.